The Bills defeating the Chiefs this week, 20-17. Good win, solid win. The Chiefs have kind of struggled against the Bills throughout the entire career of Josh Allen. He's kind of had their number. Obviously, they lost the playoff game, but the Bills beat him in the regular season last year, 24-20. This year, they beat him 20-17. Both times in Arrowhead. And of course, the reaction from Chiefs fans is, oh, it's the refs' fault. Blame it on the refs. The refs hate Mahomes. The refs are against us. I'm kind of surprised that the national media has picked this narrative up so much because Tony was offsides. Let's be honest. Tony was offsides, and it was a bonehead mistake. He shouldn't have been offsides. Yeah, I agree. He shouldn't have been. Oh, there should have been a warning. There should have been a warning. Okay. Oh, this isn't called very often. Okay. All right. Fair. Okay. You guys committed a penalty that doesn't get called very often. Cry about it. I'm sorry. That's a sore loser mentality. There's some rare cases where you can truly look at a game and say the refs blew it. Like the Rams-Saints game in the playoffs about 5 years ago, and it was Jared Goff and Drew Brees. And it was a clear pass interference call that they didn't call, and it took away the Saints' ability to take the lead towards the end of the game. So stuff like that, there's very few cases, though, I would argue, where you can point to it and say the refs cost them the game. Because in every game, there's about 100 to 140 plays. And it's very rare that you have a game that is that even where it's like, if the refs had done one thing differently that they clearly messed up, the game would have gone the other way. So, did the refs lose this game for the Chiefs? No. Could the Chiefs have won if Tony wasn't offsides? Yeah. Yeah, they could have won. The Bills would have had a minute left. They would have had a chance. Maybe they score, maybe they don't. Who knows? It's hard to say. You know what I mean? But what I do know is that after the penalty was on a 1st and 10, I believe. It was either 1st and 10 or it was 2nd and 10. It was 2nd and 10, yeah. They moved him back 5 yards. So 2nd and 15. If I know anything about Mahomes should not be... Mahomes at 2nd and 15, that's a breeze for him. Usually, that's what we're told. That's what we've seen in the past. Like, if I know one thing about Mahomes is that no matter how tough the challenge is, he's going to rise to the occasion. And what's happening right now is he isn't rising to the occasion. And part of it's his receiver's fault. You know? Like, if Kadarius Toney caught the ball against the Lions in week 1, Mahomes would have risen to the occasion. But he didn't. And the Packers, you know, there's a couple penalties on that drive. Mahomes had a chance for a game-winning drive against the Green Bay Packers, but he didn't. And again, against the Bills, Mahomes had a chance. He had the ball. He had a chance to get a game-winning drive. 2nd and 15 shouldn't have been a problem, and it was. He had 3 more chances after the penalty, and he went 0 for 3. So you tell me, is it the refs, or is it the Chiefs' offense as a whole isn't able to score like they used to be? Because they are consistently being held under 20. The Broncos are holding them. The Jets held them to 20. 23, was it? I think they scored 23 on the Jets. The Chargers couldn't hold them. They scored a 31 against the Chargers. So they were able to score. And the Eagles held them to 0 points in the second half. So, is the problem the refs? Or is the problem the Chiefs are not as good as they used to be? I think it's B. You cannot tell me that the refs lost the Chiefs that game because of one call when it was the correct call. Tony was offsides. And the argument can't be, if the only argument Chiefs fans have is, well, it's rarely do they make that play. Rarely do they call offensive offsides. Okay, well, maybe it's hard for them to find. Maybe they choose to ignore it sometimes. I don't know. But on that specific play, before they threw the touchdown, before the Chiefs had scored, they had called that an offensive offsides penalty. So they thought, okay, yeah, he's far enough offsides that we need to call this. And he was. So Tony was breaking the rule. The refs correctly make the call, and fans are going to complain? Come on, man. And it's and the audacity for a fan base to complain about a correct call just because of how it's rarely a thing that gets called. Like, if you are the Ravens or the Jaguars or the Browns or the Cowboys, if you're a team who hasn't won the Super Bowl in 10 years and this was a big game for you, like if you're the Dolphins and this is like a huge game as far as like the trajectory of the season, like if you lose this game, you don't win the division, or if you lose this game, you're not going to get the number 1 seed, and it matters because your team's never been there before, then I would have a little more sympathy, I think. The Chiefs, for all intents and purposes, didn't need to win this game because they're going to win the division either way. They're a game ahead of the Broncos. Even if the Broncos tie them, the Chiefs are more than likely going to have the tiebreaker because the Broncos lost to the Raiders. So the Chiefs are going to have a better divisional record. So the only way Denver wins the division is if they win out and Kansas City loses twice, or if Kansas City loses 3 times and the Broncos win 3 times. That's not going to happen. The Chiefs play the Patriots, the Raiders. They're going to win at least 2 games. They're probably going to win another one. They play the Bengals. I think they beat the Bengals, and I think their last game is the Chargers. So they should beat the Chargers and the Raiders and the Patriots, and maybe they'll lose to Cincinnati. But the Chiefs are not losing more than 1 more game the rest of the way. If they do, then it's officially trouble time in Kansas City. But they're not going to. You know they're going to beat O'Connell and Easton Stick. You know they are. So the Chiefs didn't need to win this game. They already have the division under locks. They already are going to have, at the lowest, they're going to be the 4 seed. At the highest, they could still get the 2 or maybe even the 1. If they win out, the Ravens lose a couple. And they won the Super Bowl last season. So they have nothing to complain about. The Super Bowl last season, which, by the way, the refs had a big part in helping you win. Because they had that call against the Eagles late in the game that I didn't think they should have called it. So you're a team that has very recently benefited from refereeing to win the Super Bowl last season, and now you're gonna whine about the refs. Give me a break. Give me a break. The Bills beat the Chiefs fair and square. Good for them. The Bills have had the Chiefs' number. Good for them. This is Coast to Coast Sports. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, make sure you give the channel a follow, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below your opinion on the matter. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me that I'm a genius. I don't really care either way because deep down I know I'm a genius. And yeah, we love the support of the channel. It's a new channel here on YouTube. We're just 2 college kids, West Coast, East Coast, giving our perspective on sports. We are not doing this for money. No ads, no brand deals, no sponsorships, none of that crap. We're just 2 college kids who like to talk about sports. That is what we are here to do, and we appreciate all the support that we can get. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.